All right, guys, welcome back to the VanNoisSeur Podcast here on StrangerPalooza. Basically, what we talk about here is van life, Class B camper vans, overlanding, and van life culture. We're all about it here. And here we go. Joining me live today, Lola's out there. She said, "Sounds good, looks good." There you go. Joining me live is Nick Schmidt of Sunshine State RVs. SSRV. Did you guys trademark that yet?
We have not, Hank. I'm going to let you
Okay.
trademark it, and
Okay.
then you can just advertise it everywhere.
Yeah. Hereby and henceforth, forthwith, trademarked to. You don't want the trademark, so trademark to Hank Strange Media.
Trademark to you.
Eh,
Remember how you used to trademark your rap lyrics back in the day? You'd write them and
oh,
you mail them to
copyright,
yourself and never
copyright.
open it.
Yes,
Copyright,
I've
yeah,
done that. Yeah, I've
same
done
thing.
that.
I
I've done that
yes.
particular thing. Did you have rap? Did you write rap lyrics or something like that? What do you?
No, but I know you have, so I was just kind of
Oh.
relating. I was relating to you, Hank.
Okay, so there you go. For folks who have not, who they don't know Nick, have never met him before or whatever it is, why don't you tell the people out there who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so Sunshine State RVs, we're the number one Class B dealer in the state of Florida, and we're number three in the whole United States of America. All we
Right.
do are Class B RVs. So we are in Gainesville, Florida, which is like the most oddest place ever
Great.
for
Yeah.
a national distribution hub of Class B RVs.
Right.
But this is where we are, and funny enough,
Hmm.
this is where Hank lives. And
That's right.
so fate kind of brought us together about 3 years ago. He walked in and bought a Coach from Beyond. He told me he was a YouTube sensation.
Right. And you were
And
like, whatever.
I was like, whatever, dude.
I think you actually
And
said to me, I got a YouTube channel. What does that mean?
yes. And so ever since that day, me and Hank have had fun on YouTube and in real life, not just in front of the camera, but behind the camera. We travel together, we hang out, we talk all the time, and
Yep.
great friendship, great business relationship,
Yep.
mutually beneficial. And yeah, and we sell Class Bs. So that's what we do. We sell them, we fix them, we service them, we ship them for free anywhere in the country. We guarantee to work on them within 5 days after you buy from us. Lots of cool customer service things
Hmm.
that we do that
Yeah.
nobody else does. Kind of
Yeah.
unique.
And I like to say, we cause trouble. Disturbing,
We do.
disrupting. Isn't that like a cool thing to
We
say?
are
Disrupting
we
the
are
Class B
disruptors.
space. Yeah, the
Yes,
disruptors. Right. Now
we are.
this is the VanNoisSeur Podcast. As I said, it's episode 11. As I said already, with Nick Schmidt of Sunshine State RV. Welcome to everyone who's out there. Ask us questions if you want to. If you've got comments and things like that, I'll throw them up here for you. Let's get to some stuff. Shout out to guest from episode number 10, Camping Coasty. He's out there.
Hey,
He says, "Good morning, Hank and Lola. We're kind of into afternoon territory, but who knows where Camping Coasty is? Probably morning.
he is all over the place.
Yeah,
All over the place.
it's probably morning wherever him and Deb
And Spike,
and Spike. Yeah, wherever
he's
Spike
always
is.
had.
Yeah,
Yes,
I always
yes.
want to call him Rocket because that dog does not stop. He's
That's
all over the
funny.
place. Yes, and
That's funny.
Ursula Moose said this of the thumbnail, which I just showed. Do you have this vehicle here in Florida? I don't know if Ursula even knows what that was that I showed in the thumbnail.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does. I mean, they just
No.
released it a week or so ago. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll
Do you
let
want
you
to start
intro
there?
our.
Well, should we start there with like news from Sunshine State RV? Let's do that. What's new with you? Because we recently were together at Open House in Indiana, and then I recently was at the Overland East Expo in Virginia, which you weren't there, but Tim was there from SSRV, and so was Corey,
Correct.
and
Tim and
so
Corey were both there.
yeah,
It
and
was my
Gary
wife's
and Mark.
birthday, Hank.
Oh,
It
happy
was my wife's.
birthday!
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Mary's birthday, and
Yes.
she decided that she did not want to go to Overland
No.
Expo for her birthday.
So yeah, I mean, what 23-year-old would want to do that?
Yeah.
Right? Is she 23 or
No.
24 now? I don't know. She's somewhere
Well,
in the
I have
20s.
I have a 19-year-old daughter, so somewhere like that, somewhere
Oh,
like that.
something like that. Yes, I know. I don't
Something
want to get
like
in
that.
trouble with Mary, so I'll just put that. And she could pass she could pass for 23 at any point.
She can't,
So
100%.
can Lola. Pavel out there says SO 27 North.
I think that means shout out.
Yes, shout out 27 North. There you go.
Yeah,
Shout out to
27
27 North.
North is on our agenda. I sent Hank a cool picture that Pavel sent me today, so he'll be showing that picture in a little bit.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting.
Do you want
There's
to
some new
start with
stuff
that?
coming.
Do you want to start with that?
Well, so
Mhm.
let's start with our trip. So
Okay.
2 weeks ago, me and Hank and Lola, we embarked on Elkhart, Indiana,
Yeah.
and we were there for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. It was a long time.
It was
Felt like a
interesting,
long
wasn't
time.
it?
A lot of stuff. I've never been to open house. Of course, you're a veteran. That was kind of crazy. It was cool, but wow.
Yeah,
Elkhart is the capital of making RVs. So,
it is. It
yeah.
is.
Describe
So
what that
so
show is to people out there who don't know. That's the best thing that we could do right there. Did you hear that?
no, say that again, Hank. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Describe the open house to folks out there who don't know. It's not open to the public, even though it's called open house.
It is not open to the public. It is strictly for manufacturers to show off their new products to dealers like myself. And so I brought Hank along to show him. So all of the manufacturers that we represent, they showed off all of their new product for 2024. What's coming out? It's there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. All of our manufacturers are releasing new and improved features,
Hmm.
new things, floor plans, colors, some even new models. I know American Coach is releasing a new model on the Patriot, um, and Winnebago's releasing some new stuff.
Yep.
Road Trek had a huge announcement. 27 North showed off some of their new stuff, and then
Hmm.
Storyteller uh, is made a big announcement as well. So lots of cool things. So we were there for the week, and I think we did a video on each one of these things, and we kind of showed
Yep.
all the new 2024. Even Chinook had some new stuff
Yep.
there. Everybody had what was new and exciting that's coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, and some of that new stuff is out, and some of it isn't yet.
Right,
Yeah, let's
right.
just put it that way. Let me see here if I could I'll show can I show a picture from Winnebago? So for example, there's all these companies. I won't say every company that makes an RV, but a lot of companies that make them, and they all have their different sites around Elkhart where you can
Hmm.
go and they've got their RVs there, not just vans that we deal with, but they've got all kinds of RVs, trailers, Class A's, all that kind of stuff. And dealers like yourself get to go in there, take a look at what's coming up, and buy things. So Winnebago, a big one, right?
Yeah, Winnebago had a really big announcement. They released a an all new Revel, so
Hmm.
they redid the whole new Revel. They announced a new Solus
I'm
36B.
I'm showing a picture
Uh,
of you next to one right now.
yeah, that's the new Solus Pocket.
Yes.
That has a full bathroom, full lithium, air conditioner, bed, bathroom, everything in a 17-foot chassis, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, very cool.
Um,
Very
so
cool.
that was a big release for them. I think Winnebago's big announcement for the week was the Echo model. They
Hmm.
are starting to make it on a Sprinter instead of just the Ford Transit. Oh, look at that! So
Yeah,
that is the coveted Echo,
there you
and
go.
now they're making it on the all-wheel drive Sprinter
Just look
chassis.
at that where your finger's pointing right there. Mercedes
Yes.
Sprinter. Now behind you is the Ford, obviously the Transit,
Yep.
right?
Transit Echo.
Yeah, and so now, yeah, Sprinter Echo's coming out. Ooh.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? What's your
We
thoughts
might be
on that?
blacklisted from Winnebago
For showing the picture?
so a few things. I don't know. A few things that I really like. So I like that Mercedes chassis are more readily available. So where the big thing about Echoes in the past was that you could never get a Transit. You couldn't get a Ford. There's none out there. And so Winnebago can't get them, and so they can't build on them. And so it ends up being something that nobody can get. So the Mercedes is more readily available. I like it gives you a little extra clearance. So when you are off-road or you're boondocking, it does lift you up a little, gives you more clearance. It is 1 foot longer.
Mm-hmm.
And so not a huge deal, but 1 foot when you're talking about a 22 or 20-foot van, 24-foot van, 1 foot makes a difference. Mm-hmm. So being that it is a foot longer, it is a little higher up off the ground, makes it a little more usable, more storage in the back, and it's on a Mercedes. Some people will only drive Mercedes, so it's still the same unique, very cool Echo, but being an Echo on a Sprinter chassis is that was the big news from Winnebago.
Absolutely, and it gives them another van to put it on, right? Because before it was just on the Transit, and Correct. We know that sometimes there's availability issues here. There's those kind of issues with the Sprinter as well. But now you have these two things, and if people are fans of the Ford Transit, they can get that. If they're fans of the Mercedes Sprinter, they can get that as well. And I'm assuming that SSRV is going to be carrying these.
We are scheduled to have our first couple come in January. So pretty excited about that. The Sprinter Echoes will come in January. And it's funny because we won't get a Transit Echo until March. And the Transits have been out for 3 years.
So yeah,
we've had one order for 2 years.
Yeah.
And we won't get one of those till March, but we'll get a Sprinter Echo in January. So kind of funny how that deal works.
And we have a video we did there, but we're just trying to make sure we could turn that video on. There are some videos that are either up or going up and all this stuff. So
yes. Yeah, everything we're talking about today, I think we did a video on while we were at Open House.
Yeah. So they're either I'm working on them, or my son Raven is, or it's already done. We're just waiting, all that kind of stuff. But we want to get it.
Raven's great, by the way. Raven's been doing some videos for us. Raven, I mean, he is very talented, cares about what he does. You've done a good job, Hank.
Thank you. I appreciate that. He's a good kid. We went walking the other day. We went to a trail here where I live, and we did 4 miles together. And
wow.
I had to get him to slow down for the old man.
That's funny.
Yeah. I probably have a picture up there somewhere up here that I could show you guys if no one minds me cutting in at something a little bit personal. He's doing a lot of stuff with you as well. Right?
He is. And he's great. I've thoroughly enjoyed working with him, getting to know him, all of it. I mean, he's phenomenal.
Good kid. Most of that is, if you want to know how good looking I was, then you could look at Raven to see how good looking I was when I was younger. But all the awesomeness comes from Lola.
Yes, I would say that.
There's a picture of us right there on the trail. So yeah, he had to deal with the old man and slow down for him. So all right. So listen, before we go into other stuff, there's a question from there's a couple of comments and stuff coming in, so I'll hit you with these. Daniel Todd Brown's question: with all the Class Bs you guys have seen, which manufacturer and model would accommodate a wheelchair lift? I am familiar with the Winnebago Rome, but any others?
So no others that we know of that come from the factory with the wheelchair lift in it already. The good thing about the Rome is that Winnebago builds it with the wheelchair lift in it. Some of the other ones we have seen Road Treks that have been outfitted with a wheelchair lift. We've seen American coaches that have been outfitted with a wheelchair lift, but none of them come from the factory. It's all you got to take a seat out, do a little finagling, and then put the wheelchair lift in it.
Yeah, I think so. Did you mention American coach is one of the possibilities in there?
Yeah, so the MD4, we've seen people take that one of the four chairs out and put the lift right there, right when you walk into the sliding door. Yeah, you can put a lift right there. I mean, the Coachman Galleria Q, for that matter, the 24Q has the 4 seats. You can take one of those out and you can put the wheelchair lift in there as well.
Yeah. So, and I think that, this is just from my perspective, it's possible in anything, but do the companies offer it? That's the question, right? So you could probably buy anything, any van out there, and then have it somehow converted. But whether the companies offer it or not, that's the question. So you definitely have to do your research out there. And some of them may have that option, and it's just not very public, and it would definitely take some extra work at the factory for them to do that for you, right?
Yeah, none of them have that I've seen have that option
Mm-hmm.
of the factory doing it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So there you go.
Winnebago's the only one. Winnebago's the only one I've seen.
Yeah, they're the only ones I've seen that's outwardly advertising it. So maybe that's something for the companies to get up on and at least put those options out there like Winnebago has done. So, by the way, everyone can smash the thumbs ups. I see we got one thumbs down. That's cool. If you hate us, smash the thumbs down. I don't. It's all good with me.
Somebody gave us the thumbs down?
Yeah, that's all good.
Man, it hurts my feelings.
Really?
No.
I found as a YouTuber that to have a successful video, you have to have as many thumbs downs as you have thumbs ups. So some of the big videos, like I have videos that have 1,000 thumbs ups. But if you have 1,000 thumbs ups and 1,000 thumbs downs, that's probably a viral video right there. So I don't know if we'll get there with this one. Camping Coastie says, I like the new Chinook. And he says, did you see much about RVs using EcoFlow products in builds?
Yeah, so the Winnebago, the Adventure Wagon is using the EcoFlow batteries and some other, I think an air conditioner from EcoFlow. I did see Adventure Wagon was using them. That was the only manufacturer that I saw was using it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've seen anyone else using those builds out of the main manufacturers. I think so for example, at the Overland show, there were some manufacturers out there that, do use that. But if we're talking your main builders, I think once again, that's going to wind up going to Winnebago.
Yes. Winnebago's been the only one with the Rome that I've seen. Yeah. And they have a Class A they make as well. But some other people might do something custom, but I haven't experienced it.
Yeah, I think the smaller builders, some of them do have that. Some of them have other things out there. So, I have seen that kind of stuff. And I've also seen other people have things as backups or however you want to look at that stuff. I'm a fan of companies out there. I think if you're talking about air conditioning versus the batteries and all that kind of stuff, I think there's EcoFlow and Cool Breeze, if I'm not mistaken, that are doing the AC stuff. And then batteries, there's just so many different options.
There's a lot of people doing stuff with batteries right now.
Yeah.
And in the school, so at Open House, they have all of their setups as well. So all the companies